What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful, delicious, smoky, cheesy, pickly, amazing smoked Cubano sausage. Coming up. This is some meat. Ooh. Pat it dry. And what I got here is some chunks of some pork shoulder. Picked these up from my local HEB, and conveniently enough, they're already cubed up. I think they sell this for carnitas or something like that. But if you can't find it cubed up, just buy a pork butt, pork steaks, or whatever you can find. I've also got some pork fat back. Got this from my friends over at Porter Road. Pretty convenient that they sell fat because it's kind of hard to find. But you can always go to your local butcher or just get some pork belly or something like that. And today we're making a sausage that I haven't made in a very long time. We're making a Cubano sausage, which I'm pretty excited about because I used to make this sausage back in the day when I was working at Friedman's. In fact, it's the first sausage that I ever brought to a public event, which I think was Texas Monthly in 2017. So what I'm going to do now is get this weighed out. If there's any really big chunks, I'll go ahead and cut that down a little bit more just to make sure it fits in our meat grinder. But most of these are looking pretty good. And I'm making a 5-pound batch today. And as always, I'm going to make this sausage pretty fatty. In a perfect world, I'd dial it into a perfect 70-30, but you know, there's a lot of intramuscular fat in here, so we're going to just get as close as we can because I want a nice juicy sausage. And just like that, all weighed out 5 pounds. We got 4 pounds of meat and 1 pound of fat back. So now I'm going to pop this into the freezer for a little bit to get nice and cold. While we wait for that meat to get nice and cold, let's go ahead and get our spices together. Starting with some kosher salt, some pink curing salt #1, some mustard powder, gotta have some mustard in a Cubano, granulated garlic, granulated onion, some black pepper, a little bit of cumin, some oregano, and some dill. Basically, I'm trying to get the same flavor profile that you'd get from the marinade on the pork in a traditional Cubano sandwich, as well as some dill to really drive home the pickle note. And for a binder, going in with some milk powder. And just get that all nice and mixed up. We're also gonna go ahead and start getting our interior garnish together, starting with some ham. Oh no, I really thought this was a whole big chunk, but apparently it's slices and they're pretty thin. Bummer, I was hoping for some bigger chunks, but I guess that's what happens when you don't read the packaging. That's fine though, still should be nice and studded. And just like that, 225 grams, going for 10% weight on all these garnishes. Next up, Swiss cheese. I swear, if this is sliced up too. Nope, solid block. Just going for some cute little cubes. Nothing too big. We don't want to impede the stuffing process, but I do want it to be a nice clear little stud. I gotta get a cheese cuber. Thought about doing that at Leroy and Lewis, but I don't think I cube enough cheese to really make that worth it. Beautiful. And lastly, some pickles. We go through and nip these ends off. And we'll get some cubes out of these as well. They're hard to cut, kind of rubbery. We're also zesting some limes and some oranges. And now that the meat is nice and cold, through the grinder we go. And we're going through the coarse die today. Beautiful. Next up, in we go with all of our spices and start getting those mixed around. Also gonna go in with our water at this point, as well as our zest, and mix that around until it starts getting tacky. And once it starts getting really sticky and more hard to work with, we know we've got some good protein extraction, and now it's time to go in with our garnishes, including our ham, our cheese, and our pickles. And just get these all evenly incorporated. And just like that, all mixed up, looking pretty ridiculous, but let's go ahead and get this cased up. Ooh, it's so chunky. Smells pretty good though. And I'm really hoping these pickles don't affect the final end result, but I guess we'll find out. As for our casings today, just got these in today. These are some new casings that we're gonna be selling on our website. And these are from World Casing, which is a major supplier of sausage casings to a lot of barbecue joints, including Leroy and Lewis. And they're some of the best casings I've ever used. So I'm super happy to have these back. So if you wanna pick some up for yourself, go to chudsbbq.com. Do appreciate it. And these compact in salt like all hog casings do. And what I like to do is just go through and get as many as I need. So for a 5-pound batch, 1 long one, maybe 2 if you wanna be safe, and try and get them untangled. That one's pretty short, so I'll probably pull out 2. Now I'm gonna go soak these in some water, while the rest of these just go right back into this resealable package. And at this point, I'll probably throw some more salt in here because I just lost a lot on the table, and then keep these in the fridge and they'll last for a long time. And a lot of people say you need to soak these overnight or for 30 minutes or something. I never do. I just went through and I rinsed these out with some warm water, and I send a lot of water through the casing a couple times, and it always works out pretty well for me. Now I'm gonna grab one of these, send a little bit of water through it again. This feels like a big one. And just thread it onto the horn. Tie it off, snip the tip, and case away. Ooh, yeah. Just some normal size weens today, folks. Little twist, and continue. Ooh, big chunk of pickle. Twist it the other way. And there we go. A little bit shorter than the casings I usually use, which for a home cook is probably better. Tie it off. I believe that pack is good for 25 pounds of sausage, and one casing gets you 6 links. Very nice. Throw another one on there. Oh yeah. And just like that, all cased up. I'm gonna pop these in the fridge on these wire racks, uncovered just like this, to let them dry out, let that curing salt do its work, and we'll check back in tomorrow. It's the next day. And as you can see, these links are looking a lot drier. Casings have definitely shrunk up a little bit, but more importantly, all these little ties and twists between the links are dried out. So now we can snip them all apart without worrying about blowout. And just like that, big pile of sausage, and it made a perfect pyramid, except for little baby Cole here, who sits alone on the sideline. But we're gonna do a good old-fashioned cold smoke on these, so let's go ahead and fire up the pit. Oh, there's a snake in my boot. And on the pit we go. And can't forget baby Cole. So got a little bit of charcoal in there just to catch that big log on fire. Just one log is all we need. Get some good smoke rolling through here. Gonna try and keep it pretty thick and keep the temps below 190, 200 degrees. And let them go for probably a couple hours. So check back in on this in a little bit. And just like that, about 3 hours later, these are looking really nice. You can tell which one I probed with a thermometer because there's some cheese poking out, but that's okay. Color's looking great, looking pretty nice and plump. Casings are feeling good, so I'm gonna pull these off. And per usual, these came up to 150 degrees internal, and now we're gonna drop them into an ice bath to stop the cooking. It's gonna shock the casings so they get really nice and snappy on us. Let them cling to the meat even tighter. Also, I'm not gonna eat 47 sausages right now, so cooling these down rapidly will stop the fat rendering and just make it so they hold up better when I vac seal them and pop them in the freezer. And of course, it's a great time to clean your wiener. Because everybody loves a clean weenie, folks. Even baby Cole. Boop. I'm gonna let these chill in this ice bath for probably about 10 minutes or so, just to let them cool down. Then I'm gonna go through, scrub them all down with a paper towel to make sure that they are in fact nice and clean. And I'm also gonna start bumping the temps up on this bad boy so I can throw some on and get them fully cooked so we can see how they taste. And just like that, all nicely cleaned up. I mean, just look at that beautiful mountain of Cubano sausage. Pretty excited. You can see all the dill in there. Nice little smoke flavor on the outside, piece of ham. You can see some cheese chunks in there. But like I said, I'm gonna put most of these into vac seal bags, probably in pairs of 2 or 4, so we can pull them out whenever we want to try one of these. But for now, I'm gonna throw some on this pit, which if you can see that, it's rocking around 275, 300 degrees. And we're gonna cook these off for about 40 minutes or so, probably 30, just until they come up to temp, get that casing nice and crispy, nice and snappy, render that fat, and once they're around probably 100, maybe 160, 165, we'll pull them off and see how they came out. And just like that, these are up to temp and looking absolutely beautiful, feeling nice and plump. Gotta love that, nice and turgid. So out these come, and we're gonna just let these cool down for a couple minutes because they're really hot. Ow. And then we'll go ahead and slice on in. All right, y'all, these are finally nice and cooled down a little bit, so let's go ahead and slice in. Ooh, nice pickle right off the bat. Glad that didn't affect the meat at all. Beautiful bind on that. Nice chunk of cheese in there too. Ooh, getting excited. Yeah, what's not to like about that? Nice and juicy, nice and cheesy. And there it is, folks, the Cubano sausage full of pickles and cheese and spice. The ham kind of gets lost because it's, you know, cured pork inside of cured pork, but you can definitely see the chunks if you're looking for them, like right there. Big chunk of ham, cheese, little dill over there. Let's try it out. Gotta say, that's a pretty glorious pile of meat. Just so full of cheese and smoky meat goodness. Oh, I'm ready. Alrighty, nice cheesy coin of some Cubano sausage. That's a big chunk of ham in there. Pretty cool. Whoa. It's crazy that orange and lime zest is the first thing to hit the palate, which is pretty cool, especially after being cured overnight, smoked twice. That's really good. The cheese, the ham, it all works together so well. Let's go for a nice pickly bite, shall we? Yep. It's interesting, the pickles are not as forward as I would have guessed, you know? They're such a bold flavor. I really thought they'd stand out, but you do get a little bit of that pickle crunch in there, a little bit of that briny freshness in there, a little extra salt. Oh, that's a really good sausage. I think it needs mustard. Gotta go with the yellow stuff. Beep. There we go. Now it's a Cubano sausage. I should have made some buns. That is fantastic. And such a beautiful looking link too. Nice and plump, good amount of smoke on there. Nothing's too overpowering. Does it snap though? That's the real question. Dip, dip. Yep. There's a big chunk of pickle in that one. Definitely got it that time. So juicy. That's a good link right there, folks. I do wish it had just a little more boldness to it, and I don't know what I mean by that, but I think if I threw these on a grill instead of just smoking them to plump perfection, and you got a little extra Maillard on there, a little extra sear, that would probably make this even better. Still so good though. The mild flavor from the Swiss doesn't really shine through, but it does add that really nice creaminess that cheese does. So if you think cheddar cheese is too powerful for a sausage, definitely highly recommend trying out the Swiss. Very good. Chunks of ham in there too. That's awesome. But with this last coin, I think it's time for the official taste test. Boys, when was the last time you had a sausage with pickles in it?
Never. Never.
Should we offer some to the lawn, guys?
There you go.
Cheesy, pickly.
All the pickles in yours.
That's what I wanted.
Dip, dip. Mmm.
Squeezy.
Did you put dill in the sausage?
I did.
That's really good.
I want to get one with a little less pickles so I can taste everything else.
You got a lot of pickles.
The Swiss doesn't really bring much flavor to the party.
It's creamy though.
Yeah.
Not gooiness.
I thought the pickles might be a little overpowering, but
Does it taste like a Cubano?
absolutely, definitely need the dip.
I want it in a bun. I feel like in a bun, that would, yeah.
When I was planning for this video, I fully planned on making Cubano buns, but I forgot.
Oh, there's a ham.
Oh yeah,
I forgot there's ham in there.
you can taste it, but
You definitely
Yeah.
can taste the ham.
you can't see it. Real question, boys. What's the next sandwich to be turned into a sausage? Joe, how'd you even do that?
What happens when you ask for help from your friends?
All right, y'all, and that is it. That's how to make an absolutely fantastic smoky Cubano sausage. I highly recommend giving this one a try. You know, it's always fun trying to take a dish or a sandwich and turn it into a sausage, and this one worked out really well. Very tasty stuff. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you do give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. Love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace.